You tell them I'm working full time and I can't afford rent. This is something that doesn't even compute. This is like the boomer mind cannot comprehend this.
Okay, the previous creator has her stitches off, but if you haven't seen her stuff already, she's one of my favorite creators on this app, and I think we need to talk about this because I'm a Gen Z who has boomer parents, and what she says is true. Boomers are stuck in the past so hard that they can't even comprehend that us, like Gen Z and millennials, it's not just that we're lazy and we don't want to work hard, it's that even if we worked as hard as possible, we still can't afford to live right now. Hard work isn't enough anymore. And I hear these comments all the time as someone whose parents, friends are all that age. They think that we're all just lazy. And they refuse to realize that times have changed. It is not the same as when you were our age. Just to start, let's look at the rise of the average home value over the years versus the rise of the average household income, as compared to when boomers were our age and able to easily afford rent. So boomers would have been our age sometime between the 70s and the late 80s here. So this is the average price of housing or a house at that time, and this is the average income of the household, right? Here it is now. Do you see the difference? Do you see how, yes, it was hard back then. It's just not even comparable. The second chart, I did steal from Madeline. Here's the average tuition for college, right? And the average full-time 40 hours a week job, which you can't even do in college. So I don't know why this is relevant, but here's when boomers existed. And here it is now. It stops at 2010 too. It's probably gone up since then. But now let's do the actual math to prove that you cannot budget in this economy. For argument's sake, I was making $20 an hour working 40 hours a week, right? That's twice what minimum wage is in my state. Let's just pretend everyone's making twice minimum wage for whatever reason, argument's sake. So you're making that much every 2 weeks, which here's the math. This is your take home after tax every month. So let's budget it, shall we? Average rent in my city for a one bedroom is about $2,000, but luckily I live in a shoebox, so after paying for parking, utilities, and all that, it's about $1,500. And yes, you need parking because you gotta have a car to get to and from work. So now we're down to this. But then there's food. I only ate about 1.5 meals every day, so that was $20 for food a day because making meals for one person is expensive. 20 times 7 times 4 is $560, so knock that off of here, and we're down to $654. Sadly, we're not done. The average student loan cost in the country is about $300, so we'll say $300 off of that. Now we're down to $354. Luckily, insurance for cars in Minnesota is only $70 because you gotta have a car to get to and from work every day. And thankfully, I drove a hybrid and I didn't do much driving outside of that, so I only had to fill up my tank twice a month, which was $50 roughly each time. Actually more, but we'll round down, so that's $100 as well. And now we're down to $184, but wait, I have medication that literally keeps me alive that I have to pay for every month. And now that I'm looking at the budget, I'm thinking that might be what we should cut out at this point. But for now, we'll pretend we want to keep going and knock another $50 off this. This is what we're at, but don't forget, we still need basic things like toilet paper, soap, tampons, things like that. So we'll just pretend that's only $50 a month. Woo, and now at this point, we're just praying we never need to go to the dentist or the doctor or replace any clothing or anything bad happens at all, like a flat tire. But wait, there's still more. Because these boomers promised us that it was possible to retire with this much money left at the end of every month. Okay, let's go do our basic retirement calculator. We're gonna pretend we want to retire at the age of 67 because that's what they're trying to raise it to now. And I'm gonna just pray that I pass at 88, even though every woman in my family has lived well into her 90s. Given that I can't budget in a doctor, this would probably be a good bet. According to those calculations, I need to be saving this much money per month in order to retire at that age. So we'll have to knock that off too. And that leaves us with, drumroll please, this much money in our bank account at the end of every month. Does anyone want to advise us on how to budget this? Because I'm thinking maybe taking out the life-saving medication. So no, boomers, it's not that we're not working hard, it's that we don't have any hope or money.